You see, we must understand that sooner or later, though exporters may not like it, but we have to learn to stand on our own feet. Where you go to the government asking for money, they always think we are coming with a begging bowl and they try to pressurize us somewhere or the other.
Right.
That's something I've not liked to do for the last maybe 40 years of asking government for subsidies. But I do realize our exporters do need that kind of crutch in the beginning till they start taking off. And a time will come when they will not need the money of the banks. Like we have become for the last 20 years a zero debt company and we
Wow.
earned our money from exports. So I cannot complain about that. I think to come to the general topic, which will also cover this, because you have asked me for practical insights. I think for any exporter, and some are already doing it, but this is more for the newer ones or the ones who still want to diversify. Uh, the first thing is know your market, because everything starts with the market, and every last rupee or dollar which comes in for any business comes from the market. You don't get money coming from anywhere else. So identify your product for the market. Make sure you can make the proper quality. Have your capacities in place. Be able to deliver on time, especially if you're in a seasonal or you're in a fashion item. If you deliver late, they will reject the whole consignment. And the world trading community that way is merciless.
Mm.
Work honestly. Make people adhere to the terms agreed to, and you also adhere to the terms. Make sure when you are exporting that you have credit insurance. And above all, please know your customer. It's not just a slogan by the banks. It's not the matter of getting somebody's PAN card or balance sheet. Get to know your customer. Is the guy honest? Does he need the material? Is it a long-term kind of a requirement? Those parts of the aspect of the trade which nobody trains you for are very, very important. Coming to your costings, it's a whole gamut of things. How far away are you from the port? For example, for sea consignments, your freight can eat up a lot of your money.
Mm.
One of the things we need to ask government is for something like a freight equalization. Why should somebody in Assam or somebody in Kashmir suffer for sending goods to the Bombay port or to Mundra port? So that's something that we need to work on. I believe that is WTO compatible. But when we talk of any subsidy or any kind of money to be returned, subsidy is a bad word as far as the World Trade Organization is concerned. So we need to be asking anything that is WTO compliant, which means that if you are giving it to across the board, then those things become compliant because it has not been given to a particular industry or given to favor somebody. No one can say you gave it to steel, so I'll put duties on steel or on anything else of that nature. Uh, when it as your exports will be growing, your financial needs will be going up. You need to be projecting them much in advance. You cannot go running to the bank at the last moment. No bank will do it for you. If you are in a fortunate position where you have 60% of your turnover as exports, you can go and join with banks which are known as the overseas branches, like a State Bank of India. We were there from 77 with them. And if you have requirements, then they are able to carry out your work very quickly in a matter of maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you get answers. You go to another bank who's at a branch somewhere, it may take him 3 months or 6 months to give you a reply. So budget your requirements in advance. See, your CMAs are made up not by the accountant, but by the
Yeah.
marketing guys sitting with finance people and with the owners of what kind of thing they want to do. Your CMA must be done properly and projected rightly. Then, in addition to that, work out what kind of finance you need. Some people need the EPC or the packing credits. Uh, they are good if you need it, but you must honor it, otherwise, there are penalties to pay. Secondly, banks put you on a time scale for that. Uh, thirdly, you need credit insurance on your customers to be sure that they will pay when the goods go. What we don't have in the system, which I'm asking my insurance companies, are for things like uh, what happens when I get a confirmed order and I invested 1 crore, 10 crore, 50 crore rupees, and the fellow doesn't pick up the order? He just says no to it. Goods are not shipped. The question of a credit default doesn't arise. What about order being defaulted on? where you spent all your money getting it together. Now, this there is no provision in our economy or with our banks. Nobody wants to touch it. But I think that also needs to be covered as a general insurance related to credit. We did talk to one of the larger companies, but they said we'll only cover 20 or 30% of your requirement. If the customers bought 10 crores, we are okay for 2 to 3 crores. What do I do for the balance? Because the balance is not profit. So these are some things that we have to look at practically. It's a long topic which we can go on and
Yeah.
on. But I would say that if somebody has a problem, put it
mm,
together in a very cogent manner, write down in bullet points, and we can try to give answers or at least point you in the right direction. Ultimately, everybody has to carry their own cross, carry their own weight. We cannot do that for anybody. But we can certainly show you the way of how you can go about it without wasting too much time and where to go and who to speak to. That kind of help, what can be done by CEO or our team in the Western region. Khaled Bhai has been a great inspiration for all of us. He's much younger than us, but he's a very hard worker and he's helping everybody. I say it to his face. Paresh Bhai has been our regional chairman, also practically in business. And we are all hands on people in business. We are not those larger mills who somebody else does the work and we are the investors. No, we are part of the management team. So we know much more because the problems affect us directly.